Hi, welcome. My name is Moira Judd. I am the RSP teacher at Oneonta. Today you are in Zoom 101, so we'll be going over some basics for Zoom. So first, what we're gonna do is go over muting, unmuting. So at the bottom left of your screen, you will see the mute button. Can everyone please mute and unmute? And I will watch you do it just to make sure everyone knows how. I'll see that little icon. Awesome. Thanks, Kay Ashley. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Veronica. Awesome. Just to show you all, I'm going to spotlight this screen so you can see. Here in, no one wants to see that. Here in this corner down here at the bottom, you have your mute and then you have your video. Seems like basics, but just to make sure, this is Zoom 101, we are going over today. The next thing before we really get rolling is your view modes. If you look up here in the top corner, it says view. When you click on it, it gives you two options, speaker and gallery. Gallery is going to show you a gallery view of everyone that you see. If you click on speaker mode, it will show only the person that's talking. I put this here because you don't want to see that. It gets a little confusing. So please make sure everyone is on speaker mode so you can see my screen and I can help you walk through it a little bit more. Next up, we have the chat icon. The chat icon is right here in the bottom. When you click on chat, your chat comes up, usually on your right. Something important, when you are chatting, if you click this blue button, you can either send a chat to everyone or a private message to anyone you want. If you don't feel like scrolling, you can just start typing in their names and it will pull it up for you. Okay. I encourage you to please ask questions. Let me know. If you have any, feel free to put them in the chat or private message me. Real quick, I'll give everyone 10 seconds to put in their number one thing they want to go over or learn today in the chat. Please put your number one thing you want to go over or learn today in Zoom 101 in the chat. I'll give everyone 10 seconds. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Perfect. Everyone's got the chat down. When we say doorbell, do we mean like put the sound on or take it off or both? Okay. Thank you, Jessica. Perfect. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is talk about our settings and how to start a Zoom meeting. So I'm doing kind of this wacky multi-device situation so you can see Zoom. Here, this is your main screen for Zoom. You can actually pull it up right now. It might be helpful. And what you're going to do to start a meeting, this usually says start meeting. So you'll click that there. This takes you to your personal Zoom room, which is basically like your automatic Zoom room. What I do is I teach multiple classes, so I schedule my classes and I have them repeating. So what that looks like is under meetings, I teach a 9:30 class. So I scheduled my 9:30 kindergarten through second grade reading, writing, and math class, and that is right there. So for instance, if you are doing a whole group class, you may want to schedule a whole group class. And then say you pull small groups and you don't want other kids that aren't in that small group joining, you can create a separate link or a separate class for them, solely for that small group. So let's go over how to do that. In your home section, it says schedule. So you're gonna click there and it will pop this up right here. Here you could put in your topic. So Mr. Serrano is right there. So I'm gonna say Mr. Serrano's 5th grade class. And I can either schedule it, or if I'm gonna have this class every day, every week, or more than once, I'm gonna choose recurring meeting. So that means it's just gonna keep happening and it can be open whenever. I typically have it generate automatically because I want it to have a separate ID. So I click generate automatically. Then you have these 3 options: passcode, waiting room, or only authenticated users can join. You can have waiting room, but that means you'll have to let kids in, which if you want to do that, that is your choice. Or you could put in your passcode, and maybe it's the same passcode for all of them, like here was tech. You would just click passcode and then you could type in your passcode that you want. This option is really nice here because when you start your meeting, you can choose to have your video as the host on or off. I usually have it off just in case. I always want to like choose to turn my video on. But for my kids, I want them when they sign in to always have their video on. So then they could turn it off if they want to, but at least they're starting off with it on. So I always leave this as on. I leave telephone and computer audio on, and other calendars. Advanced options, something I like is it's mute participants upon entry. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but sometimes students join and they're like screaming in the background. So when they join and they're muted, you don't get that like big surprise when they enter. Does anyone have any questions about starting or scheduling a meeting? Feel free to come off mute or put it in the chat.
Okay, yeah. I came late, sorry.
Yeah.
But I think what you're showing us is when Megan was doing a video about the shared experience for test prep, it looked like she was in a breakout room with some students, and then she was able in a breakout room to make a breakout room with the kids to talk with a partner. And I think what you're showing us allows you to do that, right?
So what I'm showing you is just scheduling a meeting. So just like we're in a meeting now, we're just practicing scheduling a meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
On the reoccurring meeting. How do you do that again? So that means that you don't have to create a meeting for each time you meet your students, or I mean, how do you
Correct.
do it?
Yeah. So when you schedule and click recurring, that
Uh-huh.
means it's just going to happen and it will always be there. So when you go to meetings in this 3rd tab,
You don't need to write a date or time span or
nope,
anything.
it's just
keep doing it.
every day. My recurring meetings are right here, and they don't even have a time. They're just whenever I open them.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that's how we start a meeting with Zoom. That's how we schedule a meeting. I saw some people wanted to, our #1 vote on Slido was how to annotate. So I'm going to show you how to annotate. Here, well, while we're doing that, let's learn how to share screen. So we are looking at the gallery view right now. At the bottom, it says share screen. When I click that, it gives me lots of options to share my screen. I have 2 screens, so I could choose desktop 1 or 2. There's a whiteboard that you can use to use as a whiteboard, which is really helpful, so you don't have to use another one. Or you can choose a certain browser or application that you have open. What's nice is it shows you the picture. So it can show you, what you want to share. This button at the bottom is really important. It says share sound. So if you want to share your sound from your computer as well, you would do that by clicking that button. So when I click on Google Chrome, I'm going to share my screen, and you can see it might be hard, but hold on, sharing. There's a green box around wherever I'm sharing. So that's how I know it's sharing. To annotate, it's the same for you or me as the host. Here on the bottom in this toolbar, there's an annotate feature. And if you click on that, there's all these different things you can do. The thing you're going to do the most is draw. So if you click draw, you can draw. So I invite everyone to please try and use your annotation feature and try to draw. So again, we click that. I think it's on the bottom for you. Perfect. So you see when other people are using the annotation feature that it does say their name. So that's really helpful because if some of our students want to do some drawing, maybe they shouldn't. You at least know who it is. That's a feature that you can turn off. When you go over here into more, you can say disable annotations, because sometimes you might have friends that annotate when they shouldn't, or hide names of annotators. I see Lupe was the only other person that did annotations. Does this mean people are just not annotating, or because they don't know how, or because they don't want to? Either way is fine. Okay, I see some annotations. I just want to make sure we know how. Perfect. Questions about annotations?
Sorry, this is Rebecca. I missed it. So I'm looking at the screen, and what do I click onto?
Bottom of your screen, there should be an annotation feature. So right by like mute, stop video, participants, there should be like a thing that looks like a pen that says annotate. And then to draw, you would click draw.
I don't see that bar at all.
I don't
Okay.
see that either.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, maybe it's on the top.
So
I
let's,
found mine's on the top.
okay, sorry.
On the-
For you, it's on the top. Thanks, Chris.
Mine was on the top and I had to click view options and then it showed up for me.
Hey, perfect.
Yeah,
So has everyone found it?
No, I don't
Okay.
see mine.
Hey, Chris, can you do
No.
me a huge favor and just screen share literally anything so I can show it on my screen? Okay. So is this what yours looks like? You see it here at the top?
Yes, I see it now.
And yep, when you see view options, then it says annotate. So when you click annotate, then you click draw and you can draw.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Thank you so much, Chris, for helping me out.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Chris, you asked that you've been using the same Zoom link since day one. You start Zoom by clicking on a link from your Google Calendar. You can use your same link. It's up to you. It is completely your choice. We have 5 minutes left. We've gone over annotations, how to schedule and start a meeting, how to mute and unmute, how to use the chat. Another great feature about annotations is to remember how to clear annotations. So when you get to that view options, there's an option to clear annotations and stop annotations as well. The other things I'm looking at that we have not gone over is how to hide filters so kids can't use them, as well as the doorbell. These things are going to be, if you go into your home, when you click on this little settings dial right there, it will take you here. If you go to view more settings, actually, let's see if it's here. Yeah, you have to go to view more settings. It will take you to your browser, and that's where it gives you the options for the doorbell. And it will give you options for hiding filters. Okay. Any last big things that we wanted to go over, because we have 4 minutes left? Feel free to write in the chat or come off mute.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When sharing a video,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes students can't hear the video. They can see it, but can't hear it. Why is that?
Because that means you're not sharing your sound. So when I click share screen, there's this button right there, that little check. It says share sound.
Okay.
Make sure that's checked, and then you click share, and it will share the sound.
Okay. All right.
That's the ticket to get in that
Okay,
share
so
sound. Yeah.
that's what I was missing. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Awesome. And then Jessica and Veronica, I'll email you kind of like a step-by-step how to do the doorbell and then hide filters. Can we disable their backgrounds? Yes, you can. That is what Veronica is asking as well. You have to do it through the more options. So remember, you go here to settings, then do view more settings, and it will take you to a browser with a lot of options. And you would go to meetings and then disable backgrounds. Okay, and I'll send that to you too, Chris, because I've done it. Okay, 2 minutes left. I think we've gone over a lot. I'm looking at our Slido results as well. The only other thing that we haven't gone over is the whiteboard. Remember, you can share your screen, use a whiteboard, and then you could even draw math problems or things like that. It's already in Zoom, which is super nice. I think that's it. If anyone has any other questions, please let me know. One other cool tip that I like to do is here you can see participants. You can see all your participants. I like to have this up as well as the chat. And then here I can go through and mute people without, having to scroll through their pictures, which is really nice. I can also ask to unmute if they are having trouble. Another way to do this is click the 3 dots in the corner of their picture and you have all of these cool options. So usually it's ask to unmute and either start video. I saw a question. Yeah, Dan, do you have a question?
One quick question. So usually in the morning when I start my Zoom class, it says you are a participant. If you are the host, click this login blue hyperlink thing.
Yeah.
And every day I have to, I'm a participant. What am I doing wrong?
It means you're not logged in, probably. So when it's asking you to log in, that's just saying like, we need to know if someone's the host so we can give them all the host powers. So that just means you should sign in, or instead of going through your link, going through your Zoom homepage. So this thing right here.
Yeah, I see that on my screen sometimes and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, it's really easy if you create that schedule recurring meeting and then you could just go to your meeting and start it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much.